I'm Pfeifer, and I'll be presenting on Theodore Roosevelt. Have you ever visited a national park, a national forest, or a national monument? Because of Theodore's love for nature, he created millions of acres of these parks and forests in the United States while in office for future Americans to enjoy for generations to come. The writers of the Theodore Roosevelt Association, in their article entitled Theodore Roosevelt, published on March 19, 2015, stated, "As a boy, Theodore Roosevelt wanted to be a naturalist, a scientist who revels in and examines nature. As an adult, the president didn't forget his childhood dream and preserve vast regions of the United States for future generations of Americans." Theodore Roosevelt was one of the greatest and most remembered presidents of the United States because of his personal uniqueness and accomplishments while in office. This speech will include facts and information on Theodore Roosevelt's life before and after president, and also the legacy he left behind on America. Theodore Roosevelt was born in New York City on October 27, 1858. He was homeschooled as a child due to his illness-like asthma. His nickname was Teddy. His hobbies and interests included hunting, nature, boxing, and weightlifting. The article Theodore Roosevelt, published on March 19, 2015, stated that as a young kid he was not fond of his nickname Teddy. Since he was homeschooled, it gave him the opportunity to nurse his passion for nature and animal life. Also, his father encouraged a rigorous physical life of weightlifting and boxing to help cope with his asthma. He attended Harvard University and graduated in 1880, and after there he went to Columbia Law School, where he dropped out after one semester. And from there he joined the New York Assembly, and after with the New York Assembly for a couple months, he dropped out because of his wife and mother dying, and then he fled to North Dakota, where he became a cowboy and a rancher for 2 years. And then he returned back in 1886 and ran for New York governor, but was unsuccessful. In addition to his success becoming president, his start in office comes with much, much more. In 1897, he was U.S. Navy Secretary under President William McKinley. In 1898, he joined the U.S. military in the Spanish-American War and started the Rough Riders Cavalry at the Battle of Kettle Hill. From there, when he returned, he earned the Medal of Honor for his heroics in this war. And in 1898, he became the mayor of New York, and then in 1900, he became the vice president under President McKinley. While he was president, here's some general facts. He took office in 1901 after the assassination of William McKinley. He was the 26th president. He was the youngest president to take office at 42 years old. He was the first environmentalist president, and he left office in 1909 after serving 2 terms. Some environmental policy protection acts that he created. In 1902, he created the Land Reclamation Act. In 1905, he created the U.S. Forest Service. And in 1906, he created the National Monument Act, which helped protect sacred and iconic landmarks in the United States, such as Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Some policies and acts that the Sherman Antitrust Act, he made the square deal underneath that to help reform the American workplace with government regulations on industry and consumer protection and limited monopolies. Some awards and accomplishments. In 1906, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts to help end the Russo-Japanese War. And also he helped with the creation of the Panama Canal. He believed that the Panama Canal would help with American security, economic development, and military tactics. In the article, The Life of Theodore Roosevelt, published by the National Park Service, stated that 2 weeks after taking office, Theodore Roosevelt had his cabinet do research on finding a canal that would link the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean. And so in 1903, Theodore Roosevelt bought the rights to Panama to build a canal, and construction of the Panama Canal started in 1906, and it was completed in 1914, 5 years after he left office. In the light of his many successes, he left a lasting legacy on the United States. Some icons that are still left about him. Mount Rushmore in South Dakota, his face is one of 4 presidents that are carved into the monument. And also the teddy bear is named after him. The bear hunt story, the origin started in a publication by the Theodore Roosevelt Association, 2017. The origin started with the bear hunt in Mississippi where he refused to kill an old sick bear, so he made someone else at his hunting party do it. And then that story hit the newspapers and eventually became a cartoon and then led to the creation of the teddy bear. He also made a lasting impact on conservation. He set aside 230 million acres of federally protected land. He also created 150 national forests, 51 federal bird reserves, 5 national parks, and 18 national monuments. And also after he left office, Theodore Roosevelt National Park was named after him because of his dedication to conservation. In conclusion, Theodore Roosevelt had a major impact on the United States in many ways. Theodore Roosevelt was one of the greatest and most remembered presidents of the United States because of his personal uniqueness and accomplishments while in office. Everything that happened early in life while president contributed to a successful life and a legacy left behind in all of America. Next time you visit a national park or see a teddy bear or see Mount Rushmore, remember the life and accomplishments of Theodore Roosevelt and how he made America a better place for us future Americans.